live stream is preparing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our student panel discussion today with members from the Arts and Humanities School here at Mount St. Joseph University. For those of you who haven't seen me before, my name is Elizabeth Gruber. I am an admissions counselor at the Mount, and I will be leading our discussion today. We also have a few other people on the panel with us, so if everyone could introduce themselves. Dr. Sontag, we'll start with you.
Sure, thanks, Liz. I'm Mike Sontag. I'm the Dean for the School of Arts and Humanities. And starting my 17th year at the Mount and my 7th year as Dean, I teach philosophy classes and ethics classes.
Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'll be an incoming senior. My major is communications and new media. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Brooke Rouse. I am an incoming junior. I am a communications and new media studies major with a minor in English. I am also president of Student Government Association and presidential ambassador as well as a campus ambassador.
Hi everyone, my name is Tristan Russell. I'm an incoming junior. My major is communications and new media with a minor in computer science, and I'm a campus ambassador.
Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. So first question here is going to go to Dr. Sontag. What degrees are offered through the School of Arts and Humanities? And could you describe those kind of in a nutshell, please?
Yeah, sure. We have four areas. The first is the Department of Art and Design. And there we offer bachelor's degrees in fine arts, in art education, and in graphic design. Our Department of Music offers bachelor's degrees in music and in music education. Our Department of Communication and New Media Studies offers the major and the bachelor's degree in Communication and New Media Studies. That's everybody here. And then our Department of Liberal Arts offers the major in liberal arts, and we offer a master's degree in religious studies.
Thank you. So students, this question's for you. Describe the communications program, since you're all in communications. Why did you choose it? And what do you value most about being a communications major?
So I'll go first. The communications department or the major itself is designed of learning, the function of communication and studying how to interact verbally, but also physically, as well as emotionally. You also learn how to video. So if you are really interested in the video side, learning how to edit, take videos, you get to take a couple classes in that. So that has been really fun. Something I very much value about the department is it's made me look at areas of places I've traveled to and kind of think of it in a new way versus like just looking at it and just taking it for what it is. So that is what I've valued from communications.
Going off what Amanda said, the communications department is set up to be well-rounded. It prepares you for written word, spoken word, like Amanda said, videography, photography. I'm actually taking a digital photography class this semester, which I'm really excited for. Something I value very much is my close relationship with our chair, who is, her name is Lisa Cruz. She's an amazing mentor. She's a great friend, and I've been lucky to have her for a few classes, and I've learned so much. I value as well all the skills I've learned. I've been a part of 3 co-ops, and I feel being a communications major has set me apart from my peers because it's taught me how to be so well-rounded in writing and speaking, and how I communicate with others and how I present myself. So.
I chose the communication major because I like talking to people. I'm always talking to people. I'm very outgoing. So I felt like it would benefit me in the long run, and also with what I want to do what I want to do after graduating. It actually helps me. It helps me understand like the reason things are done the way they are, whether it's with mass media or just communicating with others and inside companies, things like that. And one of the main things I value about it is the professors and their different views on all topics. So I can go and talk to one of our professors, Linda Wheeler, about one topic, and go to Lisa Cruz about the same one, and they'll have 2 different views, but yet they still make sense on both sides. So that's what I like about it. It's so many different aspects.
Nice, thank you. Wonderful answers. So for our next question, again, we're going to send this back to Dr. Sontag. How do you think pursuing a liberal arts degree or an arts degree could help students? Because that's something we hear a lot of, is kind of, it's stigmatized. So what's your way of kind of maybe breaking that stigma?
Yeah, sure. When I think of the general liberal arts education, and that's something that every Mount student gets, no matter what program you're in. You take the core curriculum classes, and that's something then that's important for everybody. I think there are 2 things that really stand out there. One is the career piece. So some interesting research. If you look at the best predictor of what gets people promoted from their entry level job, it's writing skills. It's not how good you are at the technical parts of your job, it's how well you communicate. So it's the writing and the critical thinking skills that really give you that potential long term in your career. I think the other piece that you develop is that your life isn't all about your career. There are the interests that you develop outside of what you do for work that are important. There's all the values and the ethics that you get to think about when you're pursuing liberal arts education that help you know what's important to you, that help you make decisions in the future about what's going to be important in your life, what you want to pursue, how you understand the world around you, current events and history, your own beliefs and thinking. So I think there's the career piece, but then there's a whole life piece. Pursuing the individual programs in arts and humanities, like becoming a musician, becoming an artist. One of the great things about that is that we found that you just don't have to worry about getting a job. When we track every year, about 6 months after graduation, we follow up with our students and find out how they're doing career-wise. And we're really happy with the results every year. In fact, last time we did it, it was 100%, which is fantastic. When you look at how much money people make, because we go and take it even down to money. If you're in a different program, a non-liberal arts major, like nursing or business, you do make a little money, little extra money right out of school. But it turns out that when you make the most money, when you're in your 50s, when you're in your 60s, you tend to make more money if you're coming out of one of the arts and humanities type programs. So it balances out. So I think there's a lot of positives to the liberal arts education that all Mount students get. And I think for the people who pursue the majors in our area, really great career prospects, and for all of us that that are artists or musicians and that sort of thing, where we get the chance to pursue what we love doing it.
Wonderful, thank you. So for our next question, you touched on it a little bit just now, but what do you guys think makes arts and humanities at the Mount specifically? What do you think makes it unique from other communications or arts and sciences or arts and humanities programs that are out there?
I can start. So I like know I have like friends and stuff from other universities and they study communications. But what makes ours like very specific is we have that new media piece. And that is something that I have that I found very interesting coming to the Mount, is not only do I get to study communications and like I said, how like people talk and their actions, but also like the new media part, so like commercialing and journaling and that sort of thing. So there was just that extra bonus that I felt like I got from the Mount, majoring in communications and new media studies. So since I'm an incoming senior, I've completed my video classes, and that is something that I came into the Mount not knowing how to do, and I absolutely love it now. So I love creating videos and learning about the software that I didn't even know existed. So we use an Adobe software, and it is magical in creating, photos and videos, but you also get to learn about graphic design with Adobe. So you really come out of the communications and new media department with more than what you think you do. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with Amanda. My long-term goal is to either be a lawyer or a broadcast journalist. And I know that with both those careers, even though they're kind of different, communications would offer me a solid foundation to be successful in those. So the new media definitely attracted me to the major. I know I was in a new media theory class, and I learned so much about, culture and media culture and, pop culture, different things that you wouldn't think you would get out of a communications degree. So I definitely agree with Amanda that the new media aspect of the degree is an amazing thing that sets us apart. Also, the professors in the department are so adamant on our success. Like I mentioned before, I'm very close to Lisa Cruz, who is our chair. I'm also very close to Father John, who does a lot of diversity and culture type classes. And everyone in the department, I feel, is cheering me on and making sure I'm on the path to achieve all the goals that I want to. So our close relationship with our professors in the department and the new media aspect, I think, really sets us apart from others.
I feel like the new media aspect is a great thing. For me, I like taking pictures and doing videos with all my friends and things like that. But it was more of us just like with the phone or with the cheap camera. But after taking some of the classes, the video production class, the photography class, and then with my computer science classes on top, I feel like it all fits together, and I've gotten more into like video editing, picture editing, photoshopping, and all that. And it just really helped a lot, and it's brought my interest to photography and all that just that much more.
Very cool. Thanks, y'all. And then I know we mentioned this a little bit before, Dr. Sontag, when you said we had 100% job placement rate. So that kind of leads into my question is, if you major in liberal arts or communications or arts and music, are you going to be able to get a job? So the answer is obviously yes. We have students with success who are having jobs. Could you kind of elaborate on what students could potentially do after graduation, what those jobs could look like?
Yeah, sure. It's a real mix of things, and I think when you look at some of the different programs, you see the different places that students will end up. So some people will end up, if I'm thinking of some of the recent jobs that people have ended up in, I jotted a few of them down. We have some of our recent grads, say from music. We have someone that's teaching music at Melodic Connections. We have people at Children's Hospital, someone at Cook's Instrument Repair. following up on an interest there. In comm, we've had a number of people who have ended up using communication and new media studies to get to jobs that they even knew they wanted early on. The Madison Event Center, Sanger and Eby is one of the really great local design firms, and we have a couple of people there, both from graphic design and from communication, new media studies. In graphic design, we have people at a number of firms around town, like G3 Marketing, True Staff, Gorilla Glue, one of the graphic designers at the Reds. And we have a lot of people too that go on for more education. So we have people continuing in comm studies at the master's level. We have some people that stick around at the Mount for graduate degrees. So there's a lot of paths that people take initially, and then you see what they do later on, and that's kind of the cool part. Because especially with the kinds of backgrounds that all of us develop in arts and humanities, you're prepared for a really wide variety of things. So once you get that entry level position, you don't know where it will take you. And we have alumni in really neat positions further along in their careers. So it's really fun to watch. I've been since I've been here for enough time, I follow all these alumni on LinkedIn, and it's just so cool to see the positions that they get. You see the promotions. It's really neat. Really proud to have been part of the education of these folks and see their success over time.
That is a wonderful answer. So that, again, obviously getting jobs, another kind of key component to that. Both just to help put it on your resume, and then also just to have fun in college and kind of give you something to do outside the classroom. What kind of extracurriculars are available for students in the Arts and Humanities department? And students, are you all involved in any of those programs? Any like honoraries or clubs or things like that?
I'll start again. So I am involved in a variety of clubs on campus. And I feel like my major fits perfectly with these because it's communication. So as long as I'm talking, I'm good with the club. So I am a lead campus ambassador, so I give tours on campus. And then I'm also a presidential ambassador. So I work with the alumni up in the president's office. We also do have a club on campus called Mountcast. So you get to create videos and podcasts. So if that's really something, I know podcasts are becoming big with traveling or even driving to school. So we do have a club for that. Another club I'm in is Commuter Council. So we do fun stuff in the greater Cincinnati area. But in all these different aspects, you're talking with students, you're working with students. So it's been fun.
I'm involved also in a variety of different organizations on campus. As I mentioned before, I'm president of Student Government Association, and my communications major has definitely prepared me to lead meetings, to talk to people, to write agendas, all kinds of different things that I feel I've been well equipped for. I'm also a presidential ambassador, so like kind of what Amanda said, we work with the alumni's office to be present at events. I'm also a lead campus ambassador, so I also do tours, conduct tours as well. I also ran on the track team, and believe it or not, I feel like that prepared me because, if you're in pain and you need to communicate that, you're well prepared for that. I also I'm a co-op ambassador. So as I mentioned before, also I've done 3 co-ops. So I go to classes, we talk about co-op, we explain to students what the benefits are, why you should do it, different things like that. There also is another communication liberal arts themed organization on campus called Lions Online. That's more if you're into writing. It's a newspaper that comes out every semester, I believe, that students can submit poetry or art or different stories, and that's another activity you can do to increase your skills in communication or liberal arts.
So some of the clubs that I'm involved in is I'm a lead campus ambassador, so I do give tours. I play on the football team, and then I'm part of Black Student Union as well, and that's just planning events around school. They are for everyone. Um, I'm not in very many clubs, but I do go to all events. Like I said, I'm outgoing. I like talking to new people. I like making new friends. So every event I'm there, I'm always meeting people, things like that.
You know, I'll add because I love the extracurricular stuff. Like I think that sometimes that's where the best, some of the best learning happens. So it's something we've been focusing on a lot. The band is really fun, and there's a number of ensembles that play with the band. Steel drum band and woodwind ensemble and orchestra. We have a choir. You can be in theater productions, do acting class type stuff. The student newspaper, debate team. There's just an awful lot of really neat options for that kind of extracurricular stuff. And sometimes you get credit for it too. Sometimes it's even built into the majors. So it's one of those really neat things. It's sort of like you're doing your classwork, you're learning, but it's fun. It's stuff that you love to do.
Thanks, y'all. And then Brooke, you kind of touched on this with your 3 co-ops, but what kind of co-ops have or internships have the 3 of you had, Amanda, Brooke, and Tristan? And then Dr. Sontag, since our students are all communication majors, what kind of co-ops are available for students who aren't communication majors?
So I have had 2 so far. So my first one was the Office of Admission. So I loved working with them, got to do some social media based, got to work with students and families. Wonderful, wonderful experience, especially for my major. You're working with a diverse of students and families every day. So that is definitely something that's been able to be added to my resume. Right now, to this day, I am working for DePaul Cristo Rey High School. I'm their HR intern, specifically working in their business and admissions office.
I love the Career Center. I can't advocate for them enough. They have helped me grow so much professionally, and that was something that I was looking forward to when I entered them out as a freshman. But my first co-op was at the Archdiocese, and I was an event assistant there, so I helped plan and coordinate events. And then they asked me to come back to do some journalism type things, where I was reaching out to alumni of Catholic schools. And then I worked at Hamilton County Job and Family Services as their social media manager. That was a wonderful experience. I learned how to improve my writing, and social media is such a dominant force in our world today, so that was definitely a great experience. And currently I am at St. Vincent de Paul. I run their AC and Fan program, so my title is Seasonal Program Coordinator. And definitely being in communications in the arts and humanities area of study, I've definitely felt prepared running such an important program, and that's very prominent in our local area. So we're done.
So I've done 1 co-op so far, and I've also done like service learning. So my co-op right now is at Amazon. I am intern AM, which is an area manager, and I also help conduct projects around the building to help save money throughout the year. And then for my service learning, I've actually helped a couple local businesses around Dayton start promoting themselves, helping them out with the social media side of things, and just explaining to them how to get their platform out there and to the people that they want to see it.
You know, when I'm thinking of the different partners that we work with, a lot of them are focused on particular student interests. So oftentimes students will come to us and say, this is the kind of co-op work that I want to do. And oftentimes we're able to make that connection and put it together. So I mean, some that come to mind, Newport Aquarium, Waycross Media, TriStateFootball.com. I think Safflon Alvey was co-op of the year last year doing that one. Western Hills Music we've worked with. There's also a lot of the co-ops that can be done on campus. Sometimes that fits well with how students, how they work, how their lives work. And sometimes those are really great opportunities. So we have a band co-op, a choir co-op. We have a co-op that helps manage the ceramics workshop, some co-ops that help manage our art gallery. So there are a lot of opportunities there. And while they're not exactly co-ops, we do offer even some grant money for some of the things that students like to participate in. So the students that join the Art Guild, a group of students that do public art on campus, or the members of the band, the choir, participate in theater, we have some grant money available for them, up to $500 each semester, so they can get some experience that way. It's a lot of different kinds of opportunities, and we try to make sure it fits the students. And it's really neat to see. Oftentimes, those really do lead right into jobs. So it's beautiful to see that happen. But then again, it's great just to see all the diverse experience people pick up through that, and they're able to apply that wherever things take them.
I just wanted to quickly add, what's really cool about our program is that you can go to school and work. So it's all built into your schedule, and your professors and faculty members will help make that happen. So this past academic year, because I worked with the Office of Admission, I just went to class, worked, and then went back to class, or it was the end of the day for me and I could just go home or go to my clubs and activities. So it's really well fit into your schedule. So you can definitely, go to school and work, all well built into your schedule. So.
Thanks for adding that, Amanda. So we only have about 4 minutes left. So it's a good thing I only have 2 questions left. So second to last question is for students, what is your favorite communications class that you've taken so far and why? And then for Dr. Sontag, what is habitually, what is your favorite class to teach and why?
My favorite class by far was taught by Liz Mason. It was our Writing for New Media Environments class. Amanda was in that class with me. Basically, you learn how to write a blog and how to keep up with that, and you provide feedback. You read your classmates' blogs. You provide feedback. They give you feedback. It's a really fun, easygoing class. Liz Mason is a superb professor. I love her. She gave us such good advice and tips, and it was very enjoyable, and it taught me how to be a good writer, which I think is a very, very vital and important skill to have in order to be successful in all areas of careers. So that was definitely by far my favorite class.
My favorite class was that one, as well as my digital video classes. So the class that Brooke was talking about, you really got to express and be within your own voice. You got to speak your voice within these blogs. So you could write about anything, and you got to share amongst your peers, and also get to edit and strengthen your writing skills. But also the video classes, like I mentioned earlier, it was something that I didn't even know I was even capable of, doing. And I learned so much through my professors that now I really enjoy it. And yeah, so it's been fun.
It's between new media law and ethics and visual communications. So for the visual communications, that was interesting because it talked about different street artists and the way they perceive art, the reason they make it, and how they want people to take it. And then also how after it's made, it's turned into a certain symbol, whether it's good or bad, or it'll start out bad and turn good, and vice versa. And then the new media law and ethics, because it went on the law side of things, but it was also still touching on the visual communication class as well. So it talked about how some artists were sued because of their artwork or a meaning that they would put behind it. And then I'm into music and pictures and all that. So it also went into like copyright and plagiarism and all that other good stuff. So
Well, I love teaching the philosophy of art. That's a really fun class. It's great to have the people in the room. There's the artists in the room. There's musicians in the room who are practitioners, and then you might have liberal arts students who know the philosophy already. So you get really great discussions. Get to talk about what counts as art. What is beauty? What's the role of art in society? Get to talk about all the crazy art in the 20th century and how to make sense of that stuff. So it's really fun. I enjoy that one.
Those all sound super interesting, and I kind of want to take some now. And so really quick, last question. What would y'all consider telling someone who's thinking about majoring in communications or arts or liberal arts or music in general? And then what would you tell them about majoring in one of those areas at the Mount specifically?
I would say a lot of people think that communications is just a bunch of public speaking, and it's not. It's a bunch of everything. So come in with an open mind. So if whatever you decide to major in the liberal arts department, come in open-minded and be able to use your voice and share. That's one of the biggest advice I'd probably give somebody.
The advice I would give someone who is potentially looking at arts, humanities, or in particular communications, definitely be prepared to learn how to think. You're going to learn how to think critically. You're going to learn how to speak for yourself. You're going to be encouraged to speak for yourself and what's on your mind. You will come out of there very well-rounded, very prepared, and definitely seeing different perspectives on things. And it'll teach you so many skills that will equip you to be successful and to stand out. In particular, kind of like what Amanda said, not only public speaking and verbal communication, but also, writing and looking at things differently, different cultures, different diversities, and it'll definitely give you an open mind and prepare you for the road ahead.
I would say keep an open mind with everything, whether you want to do liberal arts or you want to do communications. There's never really no one answer to anything you go over in your classes. Also, I would say talk to your classmates, whether it's before class or after class, to get their thoughts on certain subjects, because they may bring up a point that you didn't think of that may be a good point to address in your next class. So keeping an open mind just helps keep discussion going in classes. Your professor will also notice that and go more in depth on certain situations or different topics that would probably help you understand later on in the course as well.
Yeah, I think my advice would be to be engaged. Get to know the students that you're around. Get to know your faculty. Join groups. I think that's how you really take advantage of the opportunities that you have in college. And if you learn to engage early on, I mean, you can't really replace that, either in school or the workplace or anywhere else. So find, pick things that you love, that you really want to devote yourself to, and just fully engage with that. I think you can't go wrong.
Wonderful. All right, y'all. So we are actually a couple minutes over, but I will wait about a minute or so, see if we have any questions that come in from anyone who's been watching. But those are all my questions for the day. Y'all have done a wonderful job. So I guess I will hang out here for just a little bit, see if there's any questions, and then we'll sign off. All All right, looks like we don't have any questions here, so I will go ahead and sign off, and thanks for joining us.